yourself not living the life or stepping into life like you want to, like you want to go golfing and you can't because your knee hurts, or you have a headache so you can't finish the movie you're watching, or you can't sleep at night, that's a real biggie for people. If America could sleep again, boy, I think we'd have a whole different deal going on. So the nation is, our health state in the nation is consequential, which means we created it. So the beauty of that is we can uncreate it by making different choices. So I am here to teach you about, the Bible says about treating our bodies like temples, not like woodsheds. And the reason why we don't know how to operate or maintain our bodies basically is from what I'm understanding and seeing. So there's more of a choice, there's a bunch of choices out there besides drugs and surgery. Drugs and surgery is a viable choice, but it could be the last one because it's so aggressive, and you can start being proactive in your own self-care. And that's what I do. I teach you how to be proactive in your own self-care. So treating your body with respect and reverence and honor takes paying attention to it and putting it up as a priority. It's the only one we got, and we want it to last when we skid in to the end of our lifetime. And it's a shame that we're not able to just live a vital, happy life, but we can. So that's what I want to present to you. So my name is Laura Lee Waldorf. I have so much to teach you about proactive self-care that I have to piece it out. So I have to present it to you in pieces. I provide the steps. You follow the steps. You get results. And then you come back to me for the next step. And then you go ahead and get results. And then you build your own, whatever your scale of health is, you get to that point, and then now you know how to maintain yourself. And then if you get in trouble, because we're human, right? If you get in trouble, you'll have some resources on where to go or what to do to remind yourself or whatever that takes. So providing the steps, so it really is, proactive self-care is taking care of your own health, and really, I believe God designed us to be definitely co-creating in that situation, and wants us to be healthy, vital, and happy. And it's hard to in the system that we live in today. So we have to navigate around that, as we know. And my title is a myotherapist and a natural health consultant. So because I'm going to present this in pieces, I'm going to go ahead and start with the myotherapy today, and then maybe you can call me or make contact, or I can come and speak more about the natural health. So the difference is myo means muscle, and therapy, M-Y-O, and therapy means to heal. So that's the myotherapy, and 85% of pain is caused from the muscles. So it's a good place to start. Then as a natural health facilitator or a consultant, I teach you how to cleanse and nourish your organs and maintain them after they've created their vitality and you got them where they want to be. So as I focus on muscles, I will explain to you that what a myotherapist does is we don't use oils, or you keep your clothes on. And it's more of a physical therapy, but I work on people pretty extensively. So what a myotherapist does is look for trigger points. Is anybody familiar with trigger points at all? Okay, so if you're not, I can explain it to you in 1 minute or less. So myo means muscle, therapy means to heal, and trigger points is what we're looking for as myotherapists. We work with that and passive stretches. So a trigger point is a sore spot that gets stuck in your muscles when you overuse or injure a muscle. And it looks sort of like this, and I'll pass this around. And that's like a muscle diagram with a dot in the middle of it, and that's the trigger point. So these trigger points get stuck in our muscles when we overuse or injure the muscle, and then they lay latent or sleeping until you become emotionally or physically stressed. And that can be a good emotional stress or a not so good emotional or physical stress. But what that does is fire the trigger point. The trigger point lights up, sends a message to the brain. The brain responds with spasm because it's always protecting the body, and a pain spasm cycle starts to ensue. And that's when you go to the medicine cabinet, or you hang out for 3 days and shut the lights off until it settles back down again. But what myotherapists do is we find the trigger point, or we break that pain cycle by getting rid of the source, which is the trigger point. So in order to find a trigger point, we need to know the history on the person. How you get these is overuse or injury. So your sports, your accidents, your operations, your occupations, your birth, your hobbies. Have you worn crutches? You know, all this stuff lays down these trigger points initially. An example would be a football player in high school injures their leg or something in football, and then 20 years later they get a divorce and their old football injury comes back. That's the trigger point firing because the bone was treated, but probably not the muscles. As a matter of fact, the muscles were probably more tortured because it had to carry around that other leg. So all those trigger points are laid down in there initially, so the divorce causes the emotional stress, and it's not connected to that original injury. So myotherapists know that that has a lot to do from birth on to why your muscles are going in and out of spasm or staying in a spasm for months or years. And that's not good to have that because it takes a lot of energy for the body to hold those muscles in a spasm state. And it's no fun because then you can't go out and play or do your work or whatever, or be happy. It's hard to be in pain and try to be godly and happy and like everything is moving along here. So so I find the trigger point and I do a ischemic compression, which is I go in slow and I go into your muscle tissue and I hold for 7 seconds and then I release slowly and then I go on to the next trigger point. And I average about 75 trigger points in each session. It's an hour session and you don't want to work more than an hour because it's going, like for the person, it's like going to the gym and doing a workout as far as the muscles are concerned. So I de-trigger the trigger points. I use my elbows, my knuckles, and my thumbs, and everyone's different, and muscles come in layers, so do trigger points. So if a trigger point's on a top layer, it's not going to take too much pressure to find it. If it's on a lower layer, it's going to take more pressure. Now trigger points are sore spots. They can hurt so good, they could feel sharp or hot, or just dropping a pebble in water, how it rings out. Sort of a sensation to it. So on a scale of 1 to 3, it's an active therapy, meaning you give me feedback, you're not just laying there getting treatment. And there's two things that the active part of it is for your part. One is giving me feedback on a 1 to 3 scale. 1 is pressure, you don't feel anything. 2 is a sensation, you feel the trigger point, but it's not eliciting pain at all. 3, it's hurting. So if you say 3, I automatically back off. If I back off too much, you say a 1, and I press harder till we find a 2. So we're looking for that 2, and you learn it as you go. Now the other active part is doing passive stretches. I give you passive stretches, and I'm going to hand these around, and you can each have one, whatever you want, that might address your situation. The passive stretches only take a couple minutes to do, but you're going to do them throughout the day, like breakfast, lunch, dinner, when you go to bed. Sort of attach it to things to remember, because the hardest part about the exercises is to remember to do them, because they are so simple. The reason why they only take 1 to 2 minutes is because it's range of motion. It's not holding it, it's not breathing into it, it's nothing like that. It's just turning whatever your situation might be. Something like this. So I give you a set of exercises, whatever you're able to do at the moment, and then I build on those, either delete or add to, depending on your own personal situation. So the average sessions are between 3 and 6 sessions, and on the 3rd session I really encourage people to bring a loved one in, or someone else that might be in pain, or just themselves. Be willing to learn how to do the technique themselves. Because for me, I'm a very athletic, bang around kind of person, and so I have to, take care of myself. So what do? There's tools that you use. These are the 2 tools. This is a crook, and this is a little wooden towel.
Want me to hold the microphone for you?
Yeah, that would be really cool. Thank you. So how you use this is you can't. What you do is there's a wall. See, there's a wall behind me, and you would lean up into the wall, and then you work up your back, but you can't reach your back anymore. Here, I'll go ahead and do it. You can't reach your back anymore, so you use this tool. So you can reach all over your body between these 2 tools. So if that helps at all, but I teach you and I walk you through, and then I give you, where are they? I give you, I'll show you, if you want to pass these around. I give you charts to follow along. So you take the tools, I highlight where